Thank you so much for joining us for our puppet version of Why Frogs Have No Tails, an African folk tale. I am so excited now to show you how to make your own puppets so you can put on your own puppet shows at home with your own stories. So first we're going to start out by showing how to make a sock puppet. Sock puppets are obviously what we used in our production just now. This is our lion, Niame. This is our Mrs. Elephant, and this of course is our frog. So to have a sock puppet, first you need a sock. So any sock will do. Make sure that your grown-ups are okay with you using their socks. Don't just pull out their best socks and start using them. So what we do first is we take the sock and we turn it inside out. So it's inside out like that. Some socks, it doesn't really make that big of a difference which side you use if they're all the same color. And if they have a pattern, sometimes they look a little different on the inside. So then you take a piece of cardboard. You can use any cardboard that you find around your house, maybe an old box or something, maybe even an old cereal box or something like that. And you cut out a little rectangle. You want it to be about as wide as the foot of your sock. Not wider, but just about close. And then you're going to fold it in half like this. And then you're going to take your inside out sock, put a little bit of glue, if you have a glue stick. If you have hot glue, that will work. Regular school glue should work too. I like glue sticks, they're nice and fast. And you put some glue on the inside of your folded up piece of cardboard. So you want it like this, and you want the glue on the inside. And then you're going to take it and put it on the edge of your sock, right over the toe. And fold it over just like that. So like you're smushing it down like that. Then hold onto it with your hand, and you're going to turn your sock right side out again. It's going to be a little tricky depending on how long your sock is. And go like that. And put your hand in, and you've got a nice little sock mouse. This makes your mouth, it makes it a little easier to move. You don't have to do the cardboard inside, but I think it helps a lot with your mouth. Next, you need to put on some eyes or ears, depending on what you want your sock puppet to be. If you want it to be an animal, you can add whatever it might need. For our lion, I used some yarn to make our lion's mane, but you can use paper. You can use whatever you find around your house. If you have cotton balls and want to color those would work. You can use all sorts of stuff. From this part on, once you've made the mouth, you can kind of use your creativity to make it look however you want. For this guy, I used some little puff balls and stuck them on the top, and then put the eyes on top of that. I had some googly eyes. If you have googly eyes, those are always fun to use. But if you don't have googly eyes, you can also make eyes just out of paper. I just made these little eyes out of paper. You could also just draw your eyes on straight on with a marker. I'm going to use these little eyes, put a little bit of our glue stick on the back of our eyes. Glue is very sticky. And then we will stick our eyes right onto our puppet. And there you go. And then for the inside, for the mouth, I like to make the mouth look a little different. So I took just a piece of paper. You can use white paper and color it whatever color you want if you have some construction paper, and cut out a little, just kind of a round oval shape like this. Put it inside the mouth. Once again, you can use your glue stick. You can even use, you can still be wearing your puppet and be building it at the same time, which is fun. And then you just stick it inside the mouth. And there, this mouth is a little bit of a different color. And from here, you can just use your imagination and make your sock puppet look however you want. If you want to do an elephant, you can you kind of put the hand in a different way and kind of you use the heel, and you put just put your little mouth kind of over here in the heel, and then you have a long trunk left over. You can just use your imagination and make it look however you want. So that is how to make a basic sock puppet. Some other kinds of puppets you can make that are really easy and fun are a stick puppet. This is my little bird. This is my little, if you were going to do the fairy tale Chicken Little, this is my Chicken Little. So you just take a piece of paper and cut out whatever shape you want. It's nice if you have kind of a thicker piece of paper. If you just have regular paper, if you fold it in half and maybe glue it together, that makes it a little more sturdy. And then you can just draw whatever you want. And then I actually used a pencil, because pencils are pretty most people have pencils lying around. And use a pencil. I like to put the pointy side on the back so you don't accidentally poke yourself while you're holding it. And then just tape it to the back and decorate it however you want, and then you have your little stick puppet. And then last but not least, we have our classic brown paper bag puppet. I made kind of princess lady. She's got purple hair. That's her crown. For this, you just take your paper bag, fold it over like this, draw your face on there, draw your lips. Once again, I like to make the mouth look a little bit different because while you're moving your hands, you're going to be able to see your mouth. So this is a paper bag puppet. You can use all of these different kind of puppets to make your own puppet show at home. For today's puppet show, we use a classic African folk tale, but you can use whatever story you want. You can make up your own story. You can find a story from a book you really like, or you can use a classic fairy tale too, like The Three Little Pigs, or Chicken Little, or Little Red Riding Hood. And there are also, like our story today, there are some wonderful folk tales and fairy tales from all over the world. And you can check those out at the library. Those are in the 398 section. Just go and ask your librarian and they will show you where all of the folk tales are. And you can make any kind of story you want. And just use your imagination, make some puppets, put on a show, and have a great time. Thanks again for joining us, and keep reading. We'll see you at the library.